Hey, it's MK, and I am back with another 20 days of COPA cut files. And today is day 20, you guys. And I have to be honest with you that I got the prompt wrong. I thought that it was the day after. In fact, that's what I even wrote down in my calendar, but it was the day before, the night before. And so I thought I was being clever. And yeah, so what I'm showing you here are all the thickers that I have used to create my title. And I love taking thickers like this that is kind of like a mixed font that already has words being said and making my own words out of them. Just because of the fact that I can get small and little and tall letters, all the different kinds, to create a really cool layout, or I'm sorry, a title. And so that's what I'm basically showing you guys is the title that I have come up with that I still need to alter slightly. Also, too, when I come to the end of a project like this, I absolutely love piling up everything that I have used over the last 20 days all in one pile, which is in a pile over on the left of me. And so by the time that this last layout comes around, I have this pile all nice and neat and set up the way that the way that I need it. Now, I do have to tell you guys that all of these cardstocks will go back in my scraps for backing cut files and things like that. So I won't end up using all the scraps, but I wanted to show you guys all the stuff that I have used over the last 20 days. Now, some of it is a repeat. Some of it I have continued to use throughout the course of the layouts that I have created. This set here will be layout 24 and 25. So I've got 25 Christmas layouts. Whew, that's a lot. 24 of them will go in my 2020 album, and one of them will go into my 2016 album. Now, like I said, some of this stuff that I am showing you guys is just what I had in the pile. I have no intention of using it on this specific layout. In fact, I did leave in a little bit of how I go through all these papers, I think, and sift through what it is that I'm going to actually use on the layout. Now, especially that glitter, that green glitter was so gorgeous. It's like an emerald green. In fact, I think that's what it was called. It's a close to my heart glitter, and their glitter is amazing, by the way, just to let you know. But I wanted to back my photos with it. However, I couldn't get all 5 of my photos down on that green, so I just decided to bail on that idea and use something else. Those circles were from layout number 1 that still have not ended up on a layout, but I think I'm going to take them out of my Christmas stash and put them in with my outdoors because they are wooden. They have a wood print or a wood grain print on them. So I think that they'll get better use if I move them out of my Christmas stash. Anyways, showing you guys the cut files. It's going to be a 2-page layout. I still have this branding strip. I have lots of branding strips still left over that I don't end up actually using. But what I did with the cut file, I thought I already showed you. Sorry, I was too busy talking. Is I took this diamond print, made it as small as I thought my Cricut could go, and then kind of made a background out of it rather than use it in a ginormous state. So I made it a teeny tiny little one, just so that way I could have something sparkling in the back of in the background of my layout instead of mixed media, which I really do like how it ends up turning out. So I also really think that it's going to help me portray what I'm trying to say as far as the night after Christmas. I'm pretty sure everybody feels the exact same way the night after Christmas, or I should say Christmas night. It's kind of the night of Christmas, but I say the night after Christmas because, Christmas is kind of a morning thing. And then, of course, that particular night, this is what you get, or all weekend for us, pretty much. But what I plan on doing is I went ahead and I put in my Cricut design space, like I said, I made a little square and I rounded the corners. Now you can do that in Cricut. You can ask for a rounded square is what it's called. So I did that in the largest bit that I can, and you can tell it how big you want it round. I mean, you can do whatever in Cricut Design Space. It's pretty high tech now compared to what it was when it was just R shapes and only R shapes. So you can do quite a bit if you're a Cricut user. With Design Space. And then I took my little sparkles. I'm not really sure exactly what the cut file is called. I apologize. And I laid them out in a manner that I could get a left and a right page. And I had no idea what my photos were going to look like or anything. I kind of just took a guess at where I wanted my sparkles to go. And honestly, that's what it was. So after that, I cut off one of the rounded corners from each side of my paper, so that way they could butt up against each other in the center, and it looked like it went all the way across two-page spread. So then what I had to do was fill in that gap on either end of the cut file. So I took a border punched out a border from my black stripes, because I do think that a nice little stripe looks really good against a solid cardstock. I did that. I had a strip of green, ripped it in half, so I had one for each side, and then I had a leftover of, I don't know, a punched border from something else, from another layout. So I decided to just throw that in there as well. Now I'm going through all of my bits and pieces to see what it is that I want on this layout, because I clearly have too much. So I went through my 49 and Market die cuts and kind of divvied them up based off of a little bit of green, a little bit of red, a little bit of off-white because of the tickets that I'm going to be using. And then I went through all of my pattern paper and kind of divvied that up between the 5 layouts. Now, because of my 5th layout being kind of the center of attention type thing, my focal photo, I should say, I'm going to go ahead and use different papers for that one because I want everyone to know that it is different. However, it has stripes just like I have like photo frames or whatever those little frames are called. They also have stripes in them. And then I have a little teeny tiny buffalo check, while then my photos have a large buffalo check. And so it's kind of the same, but not really. So that way my brain doesn't think, oh my God, this photo sticks out like a sore thumb, because nothing's the same. It is, but it isn't, if that makes any sense. It just kind of sort of is a little bit different to where it says, I'm the one you should be paying attention to. The rest are kind of just like sequence photos that lead up to me, but I'm the one that you really need to pay attention to. So, and that's just my brain thinking, you guys, it's not like a design aspect or anything. It's just the way my brain thinks. So I also took all the pattern paper for my 4 leading to photos and divvied up all the paper. Now I basically just took a strip of paper and I cut it into fourths. So if it's 12 inches long, I cut it, 3 by whatever it was. And now I took my edge distresser and distressed all the edges, because I thought, you know what? I think it's a little bit too clean. I don't think I'm going to like it. So if I edge distress, then it'll be not so clean, and I can be all wonky with my layers. For some reason, when I don't edge distress, I can't make layered pieces. It's just, I don't know. It's just too neat and clean, and so I can't do messy layers, in all honesty. But I didn't want to go too big with my layers, or then I would just defeat the purpose of the background. I don't know, but I wanted this layout to represent everything that I've used for the last 19 days, basically. And so, and I think I make it work without it being too overwhelming. In this layout is definitely more is more, and I have to apologize about the lighting. I had my windows open. I absolutely love how bright my room gets with my not my window, but my curtains. I love how bright my room gets, but I forget about the glare because I don't see it until it's too late. I have to sit just right in my chair in order for me to notice that there is that huge glare on my desk. So I apologize that for pretty much the rest of this layout, you're going to see that glare. So I'm sorry. But anyways, I'm just taking all of the exact same elements. Like I said, I tested one photo to see if I liked it, and then I went ahead and edge distressed everything, and now I'm putting the other 3 photos together. But I'm making sure that I like that buffalo check, but the buffalo check that I put on the first photo, it is in the bottom left corner. So then when I went all the way around, one's in the upper left, one's in the upper right, and now my last one's in the bottom right. So none of the papers, even though they're the exact same papers, none of them are in the exact same space on my photo. I made sure that I made sure that I had one green one in all 4 corners, one red one in all 4 corners, one of the poinsettia papers in all 4 corners, and one black cardstock in all 4 corners. Just so that way I had a little bit of randomness throughout the photos, and I didn't have, like a consistency. It made it look like the whole time I was doing it, actually, to be honest, what I was thinking in my brain was all the wrapping paper. There for a little bit, we do have, 4 little piles of wrapping paper until we're ready to move on to the next gift. And so that's kind of where my brain was thinking, is this is all the wrapping paper, and that's why I distressed it as well. Plus, I can't do wonky layers without distressing. So it just all kind of adds up slightly. So, what are the photos? The photos are this cool little kit. I don't even know what it's called. It's not an erector set or anything like that. It's like K'NEX or something, Knex. Anyways, it's just, these are the types of toys my children ask for. They ask for Legos, and I mean, like, what is the word? I can't even think of the word. Complex. That's the word. Complex Lego sets, to where it takes about 2 days for them to put it together. Not that they don't understand it, but they take their time to make sure that it's right, and just like, I'm going to open up this, bag 1, and there's 6 bags to open, and bag 1 I get all the way up to here. My son also this year, I believe he got his it's a Dodge, and I can't remember if it was a Challenger or a Charger. Anyways, I can't remember. But he got his little, oh my gosh, I can't even, the words, they're just gone. But it took him a good 4 days to put it together. And this Lego set was humongous. I mean, it was probably 15 inches long and 6 inches high. The car was huge. It was huge. And then, of course, my middle son here, he wanted this Eiffel Tower, and him and his dad probably sat there, him and my husband, sorry, probably sat there, I want to say, all day. I don't think they finished it in one day. I cannot remember. But this thing is huge, you guys. And it's like, wow, that's like really worth it. Because you know how when you get a set like that and you expect it to be, maybe 8 by 10, somewhere in there. And then it ends up being 14 by something. I mean, it's just awesome. And he loves it. It still puts a smile on his face. So I absolutely love it. My mom really likes it too, because one year for Christmas, I got her a cookie jar that was the Eiffel Tower, and she absolutely loves that Eiffel Tower cookie jar. And so when he asked for this erector set or whatever it was called, she was like, yay, he picked something that interested her as well. And so when the kids start growing up like that, it kind of just brings smiles to everybody's faces and whatnot. So anyways, deciding how I want my photos to go. So I decided, based off of the directions my photos are going, that I put the assembly process on one side, and then right next to the finished product, I put the photo of earlier that morning, my husband was actually looking at the box of what it was that he got because, it's kind of a surprise to him too, what all the kids get. in a way. So he was really looking at it and thinking it was pretty cool. Like I said, the more that these guys ask for things like this, the more we are just wowed about, because it's not, a Nerf gun, or they're just really cool. And, Dad and I being mechanics like that, we enjoy putting things together like this with the kids. The year before that, we all got little wooden, let me see. They were like the same thing, only they were all made out of wood. And so my son got a windmill, and that was just fascinating. It was gorgeous. It can actually, it had a rubber band in it to where if you wound it up, then it would take forever for it to stop winding the other direction. And then I think one of them got a catapult, just all over the place, you guys. They're just awesome, to be honest. And my husband enjoyed very much putting them together with the boys. Very much, by the way. And I have a clock, and I still have not put it together. So I better get on that. Because it's got gears and gadgets and everything all over the place. All right, so now that I have my photos put down and the way that I like them, that I think still makes sense, I like the photos of the box next to the finished product. I actually do kind of like that. I went ahead and I decided to put my title first because it was so large. And basically it just says, "'Twas the night after," and then all through the house, silence, because that's exactly how it is for the next 4 days, you guys. Everyone is in their own zone with their brand new stuff, and it's just fantabulous to have all that peace and quiet. And and by the time they're done, building, my daughter gets, I don't even know what they're called, OMG toys or whatever, surprise toys. I don't know. She doesn't even know what they are. And she has to go through every single one of them and open them up. It's like tiny little presents within presents. And she opens them all up, and then she gets to build her doll based off of all the little pieces that she opens. And so it was just really cool. The fact that we have silence for 4 days in our house with 4 children. It's fascinating. It's worth it. To be honest, it is very much so worth it. Is that mean of me? I don't know. So I am just trying to tuck things in here and there. Again, I'm looking for blank spaces. I'm looking for, what is appealing to the eye. And then I also kind of sort of wanted, the layered look still. So I am layering things within the layers of the photo mats. So I will stick one all the way back. I'll stick one, 2 layers forward, things like that. I do like taking this flair. So I got the advent calendar from Dottie About Flair, and it's his first year doing an advent calendar. And I am loving, I didn't think I was going to like the Christmas one. So I ended up with 2, to be honest. And I got the Christmas one just out of curiosity, but I really was excited for the everyday one just because I thought that I would use those a lot more. But when I first opened up my first, say 5 envelopes, I was just in shock at how adorable the Christmas ones were. So I could not wait to start using them on my layouts. In case you guys haven't noticed that I have been using some flair on my last couple Christmas layouts. These ones here happen to be sweater pattern. And so I thought it was kind of cool because, we stay nice and cozy within the house and all that stuff, just enjoying what Santa brought us and whatnot. And one of the things that I really enjoy with the flair is tucking them in and around things. I don't just stick it on. I like tucking them behind so they're kind of just sticking out. Now, granted, they are a little bit bulky, so I'm not going to stick them halfway under something. They're just barely enough to where they are tucked in but not halfway through, if that makes any sense. So yeah, I did use the flare. And then I just got done taking all of the, not all of them, but some of the inner bits of the diamonds or the sparkles, and scattered them throughout the photos. That way they kind of, again, filled in some of the blanks, but took some of that sparkle and kind of spread it throughout. Everywhere. I'm just one of those types of people that don't like to throw things away until I'm absolutely done with them. And especially when the little sparkles just, they acted like really cool sequins. I think I just said that. Sorry if I did. I apologize. But I do like how they fill in the dead space of the photos, or just the fact that they add, I don't know, it's almost like the little sparkles are moving across, even though they're not, they're red and they're white type thing. I don't know, you guys, I'm making it up. I decided to add my last frame. I used up all the frames in this series of those Simple Stories little frames, and I just cut out Santa. I cut it away from the frame so that way I could just use it as a large chipboard piece. And I decided to tuck him in on one side of the bottom left-hand corner and called it good. Well, now on this left page, I have 2 lime green somethings. So I had to add something to the other side. So really quickly, I tucked in another label or tag or something, and then found the word Happy Holidays, because this does make me so very happy that the kids enjoy building things like this. So anyways, these are the finished layouts. I love the end of layouts like this, and taking all of my scraps and all the little bits and pieces that I've been using throughout a series like this and smashing them all on one page. For one, it kind of brings all of my layouts together, and it's like I used an entire collection, which I didn't. I used multiple collections, but layouts like this bring it all together, because I was able to mash up all these different papers from all the different layouts into one layout. So I'm very pleased with how it looks. I want to thank you all for watching these last 20 days. I cannot thank you guys enough for joining me. Be sure to check out everyone else that did play along. I am thrilled with all of the things that these ladies have come up with cut files. It's just so much information and so much inspiration that it's awesome, you guys. Also, today is the last day for 25% off in the COAPA cut file shop. It is on Etsy. If you guys are curious, just type in COAPA on Etsy and it should pop up like crazy. And I will check you all later. Thank you so much. Bye.